So,
I just, what, you talked about it twice and I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
what it was, But now I get it.
It's,
That's
it's
fine.
so that your local government or your funding agency doesn't quit funding you because you're getting state money. That was
Gotcha.
the original
Okay.
intent, so
Okay,
that
right.
because we receive money from the state for being the central library, they want to make sure that the city continues to fund us. And, but I think it's, as one of you said, it's a double-edged sword. We're getting cut by the city and then we get cut by the state too.
Right.
So, that's crazy.
Okay, that took care of that.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else, Steve?
no, I've got a couple other things that are on the agenda.
Okay, any more questions for Steve? Okay, we'll move on to financial reports. I believe we need a motion to accept the financial reports. Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, second,
I'll second.
Nikki. Okay.
I'll give a hip hip hooray.
Michael, go ahead.
Before we start on the financial report, we did get the funding level for this year. We went up a whopping 0.22%.
Oh, no.
We all get a 0.22% raise. I have attached the May report over and under, budget versus actual, and a balance sheet as of May 31st. For the most, we're doing good, we're going along, we have some savings from last year to hold us over until our funding does come in. We're waiting for our annual report to be approved. They are reviewed, so on a first level right now, approval. So hopefully next couple of weeks, we'll find out if we have to do any changes. I think that's it because I have other stuff for other areas, other sections.
Well,
Any questions?
Any questions for Michael?
I'm trying to find it right now. I had one question. It's, are we gonna go over the over/under report? Is that part of this?
It's in there.
Yeah, it should be,
Yeah. Okay,
page 22 and 23.
okay.
And I've started to say, if I'm in and out of the office and what webinars me and my staff has done over the past month.
There was one thing that I wasn't worried about it. It just really surprised me. Was it?
Well, she's looking. I just want to congratulate you, Michael, for
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
up
yeah.
to where we need to be. Thank you very much. Obviously, the help you're getting is working. It's a big job for one person. It really is. And then when you get all of the mess that went through with COVID and all the extra stuff that went with that, thank you for getting up to where we need to be.
No, it looked great. It wasn't a question about the report. I was astounded. There was it utilities or something that seemed way unexpectedly high? And I was trying to figure out why.
No,
The
our vehicle
vehicles.
maintenance
The
is
vehicles.
extremely high because we
Yeah,
had to
yeah,
do
no, I
some big
realize that.
fixes to the van, to the
Yeah,
delivery
was told
van.
last week. Yeah.
Oh, a lot of stuff is over, stuff like, computer and peripherals is over because we didn't really put it in our budget.
Yeah, that was
And,
obvious.
it was under other items, so we just have to move the money around. But now that we have the numbers, I can do amended budget, and I should have it to you in the next month or so.
Good. Anything else from Michael? All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Abstained? Report passes. Committee reports, we don't have any.
Oh, one other thing,
Oh.
just as an addendum to the
Oh,
financial reports.
Sorry.
We want to update our policy for printing for our member libraries. The fees that we were charging were 5 cents less than what you're seeing here.
You want me to get a copy for everyone?
I think they had
there's some.
some.
Oh,
There you go.
Sorry.
They were here.
Should be in there.
The rates we were charging were from 2013, 2012. So it's been 11 years since we've adjusted these.
I don't know if I have one.
And
My goodness,
most of this is for paper costs. Paper costs have risen.
all right, there's no reason you shouldn't have to. raise it. What, you go to a library, you go to somewhere, it's a lot more than that. I mean,
Yeah.
like, sometimes I've had to go to the libraries down in Florida. I'm not a member, so it probably costs more, but, there's no reason to keep it low. You know, and we're going in the hole.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Well,
we have 5 or 6 libraries that do use this, use these rates, you know, for like their newsletter.
Right, I don't think they're talking about library patrons, they're talking about.
right.
Right, okay, gotcha.
So these are libraries that are using our copier to print.
Okay,
What are they printing?
thank you for clarifying.
Newsletters? Mostly newsletters, like,
Yeah, mostly
and
newsletters.
is it less expensive for them to print
Flyers
here
or-
than at their library? I mean,
Well,
They're
some of them
talking
don't
big
have,
amounts, like 250.
oh, okay,
You know, send out to all their patrons,
yeah,
or at least 250. Osceola Forks is one, Essex is another. And those are just a couple of the libraries that do use.
that use
it.
you, okay.
And it's only maybe 4 times a year,
Oh.
you know, they just.
we
send
should,
out-
since it says the Board of Trustees.
That's why I'm
has
asking for the
approved it.
approval. I was just reading that, I'm like, yeah, I guess probably.
Yeah, we have to have
We haven't seen that.
What's that?
What's the new rate?
10 for single, 15 for double, black and white, 25 for one-sided color.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we just went up 5 cents from,
It's reasonable.
Okay, could I have a motion to accept these changes in the printing charges that will become effective July 1st, 2023?
I'll move it.
Okay, Nikki, second.
Second.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, I'll.
Yeah, I have a question. I mean, not on that, you want to vote on the motion first? This is just a technical.
No, we have to do this first because we have motion on the floor.
Oh,
Okay, we'll go back. It's not on this at all, right, Lonnie?
no, it was on the thing that I couldn't find before.
Okay,
I'm
we'll
not
go
sure
back
if
to
I
that in a
read it
minute,
right.
okay. Okay,
So we have been charging all along
Mhm.
in the past, right?
Right.
Yeah.
this is just,
And this is just an increase.
right. I think I
How do
understand.
the member libraries feel about it? Is it okay?
It's less than we charge.
we try to keep as low as we can.
Yeah.
We're not out there to make
Right,
any money.
But you don't want to get in the hole either. I mean,
yes.
You know, I mean, it seems reasonable to me. Okay, any other questions? All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Abstained? Okay, motion passes. Okay, Lonnie,
So my question had nothing to do with approving the report. But I was looking at page 26 and I think I probably don't understand what something means. So there's an item called utilities.
It's one line below the budget so for utilities, the budget is 9,000.
Oh, everything's skewed off.
I apologize. It's
That's
actually the
okay, don't
building and building
apologize. That makes me
equipment
feel a lot better.
repair is very high, and we're gonna have to adjust it.
Yeah, okay, no, that makes me feel, it looks too weird and I couldn't believe it, that's all.
I
it's the
probably
new
should
tanning
put-
beds.
We did have a leaky toilet.
I'm sorry. I'm not too swift. on
okay,
that
I
thing.
think I'm back to committee reports. We have none, right? Unfinished business. Okay, vehicle replacement.
Vehicle replacement. We've been researching the state contracts and what's out there. Michael says we've got about $37,000 set aside for our vehicles. That's not gonna buy both of them. But it should cover the van, which is the more pressing of the two.
And I think you probably don't want to buy them at the same time, so you aren't in this situation in the future. Does
Right,
that make sense?
It does.
What's that?
So you're not trying to buy two vehicles at once in the future. You want to buy one, keep the other one as long as you, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, you know, as long as you can in general.
Stagger them,
Yes, yes.
but the van is over 700 miles a week,
Right.
so that, you know, it's only five years old.
Whoa.
We got 170 or 180,000 on it already.
Was that a brand new one we bought?
Yes,
Okay.
And is there no, I mean, I don't know. I assume there's a lot of books being transported. Is there any smaller, more efficient option?
actually, our deliveries have outgrown a normal van,
Oh, okay.
and
and
that's why we have the
a
big,
bigger one.
Mhm.
The money should cover a new one, as I'm looking at prices and contracts and such. We are having a meeting tomorrow with staff to decide which features are necessary and highly desirable.
Heat.
Air conditioning.
Air conditioning. They've mentioned things over the years, and
Serious, that's better.
Hey, they spend a lot of time in it, so
They
you
do,
also want them
and
to
so-
be comfortable
we're going to discuss that tomorrow. After that, it's going to be putting together that list of requirements and advertising it to dealers. We can go through the state marketplace and get bids from all over the state. So we're looking at all our options at this point.
And this might be ridiculous, maybe it's too new, but is there any talk of doing electric? Because that would be lower maintenance, lower gas. I know it's more money up front.
Um,
So sure, there's that many miles you're putting on it.
yeah, some of the, I don't know if they'll have electric vehicles in that configuration.
Mhm.
If they do, range is going to be an issue. Some days are over 300 miles.
You'd have to get a hybrid.
I mean, I think a good rule of
Have to
thumb up
gas
here is
backup.
you want your range to be double what you need in a day. So I don't know if any are
Right.
doing 600. Is there range? I don't know. I looked at them.
Yeah, we would have to have something that, you know, if we doubled the range, it'd have to be in the 500 to 600 range.
Mhm.
And I don't know that there's anything out there.
That's
that will
big
do
enough.
that.
Plus the initial cost would be more,
Right, so it might.
probably
end
at
up
least $5,000 or more maybe.
Maybe
for
even more.
electric,
I think you might end
For
up even in
10,
the
5
end,
to
but it's
10
more upfront for
for a
sure.
van.
Right. And I don't know if one big enough would have the range that you
Or
need.
if there are even any available.
Right.
Right.
I mean, so that's what I'm saying. It might be too early. Because maybe like in 5 years, that would be a good.
Unless there are people who are developing who would make a grant to test out something that they're looking. Do you know what concerns me is when you say 37,000, that doesn't sound a whole lot for something that has to work that hard. Do we know that are things like that available in the?
The same van runs at retail at about 41.
Oh, okay.
So we're close because, you know, we're gonna get a discount from the state contracts. But yeah, it is available. And we just need to,
So we're saying timeline maybe, Steve, by next month you'll have a little bit more for us, and then August, we might be able to make some plans on this by August, you think, or will it be later than that? We have both of them working well right now.
right, both of them are working now. We're hoping they hold together.
we got this last van, what, 29,000 or 28?
It was just under 30.
Yes. I remember that we had to push the dealer.
So we're saying within the next.
Yeah,
3 to 4
it's,
months,
we're,
maybe 6,
yeah,
yeah.
we're,
Before winter.
yes,
Okay, okay, that's just all I'm saying, so you know what you have to do,
yes,
and then you'll keep us informed as to where you are,
correct.
then that's what we need to know.
And we'll have a long warranty period, right?
Along what?
Warranty period.
Yeah. Usually warranties run out at about 60,000 miles and,
It's 1 week.
yeah, that's right. That's not as long.
As we need, but, you know, but how old is this one? What did you say?
It is 5 years old. It-
Okay.
You
But
bought
that's a
it
lot.
just when I started.
Really?
You know what? I'm coming up on my 5th anniversary on July 2nd,
Wow, okay,
5 years.
I kind of remember, that, Steve. Okay, okay. Thank you. It'll keep us apprised of what's going on, and, you know, I trust you to make the right, you know, we'll make the final decision, but you'll get the work done for us. The offsite board meetings schedule is in this attachments part. Second page. July 24th, which is next month, we'll be going to the Payne Memorial Free Library. Monday, August 28th, we'll go to Champlain Memorial. And Monday, September 25th, we'll go to Tupper Lake.
Where's the pain? I'm sorry.
The Payne is Willsboro.
One question about that, because last year we had problems with going to the other libraries and not having quorums and stuff. I'm wondering if we can see if we can get commitments a little bit earlier
Might not be a
No.
bad idea.
so that we don't put the librarians
Right.
through that and.
I know,
More
yeah, I think that's a great idea, Lonnie, I really do. So we could maybe do it a couple weeks. I know some people are waiting till the last minute. I know summers are crazy for all of us, so we aren't gonna, but that is probably a good idea. Brenda, have you written that down so we can? Okay, that might be, you know, like a week before even. Please let us know if you can't do
Well,
that.
and obviously, we're not gonna do this,
Mhm.
so
We have to
we'd wanna
in
know
person, exactly.
an in-person quorum.
Right,
I know I can't do the September 25th one because school gets done in Peru at 3:30.
right,
And it's
Right.
an hour and a half. I just mapped it.
right, right. And we understand that. I don't know if we did June, July, and August before, because usually the last Monday, we may want to look into that in future years if we continue this. Because June, I mean, like, school's done now, so I mean,
Mhm.
those are the months that the young people, I mean, we usually have. Thank you for being here. I've had a lot of young people, so we didn't have to worry about it too much, but that's a great way to think about that. So maybe if next year, we may want to look at June, July, and August. So we wouldn't run into that issue, just as a future,
Because that'll be Tom Mandeville too.
Yes, yes. And-
Although I don't know if his is different because, you know, like, does your classes on Mondays?
Well, right now, they're on the road. They're supposed to be coming back tonight. He and his wife and he figured he'd be on the road today, so he mustn't have classes right now.
I think classes end in May for him. But I mean, even if you're thinking, yeah, I don't think it matters for him at all. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, we are gonna always, but at least that may give more availability to more of our trustees.
Now, why is it that we can't have remote people? I mean, is this not transferable, this equipment?
That's one issue.
Yes.
And we don't know what the other libraries have for.
Well, I mean, we're bringing it with us. I mean, the library, I know our library in Saranac Lake, he says that he doesn't have the equipment to do that, but is this equipment what is needed and transportable if it was an issue?
And maybe the program is not available.
I know you brought it to the portable to some degree. It was brought to Danamore last time.
Yeah, I know nothing about it, so I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that might help
Let me
with
talk to
help with
David
the
about it.
forum, yeah.
Yeah, check on it, because I
Yeah.
mean, that could be an issue, that if
That could
you can
help.
use it, that would make an awful difference,
Mhm.
because it
People
was,
have company in the summer, they can, you know.
Oh, yeah,
and we'll
summer's
draw
crazy.
everybody's straight, but it, you know,
But he came also to Danamore, and I wonder if that's asking another personnel to be involved in this might be too much to ask,
Yeah.
even if it's doing.
well, it doesn't hurt to ask, right, check that out.
they can always say. no.
And some
right.
people have laptops we could come in to this library and get laptops set up and everything, it might be possible
Not
to bring
Oh,
stuff that for other people to connect.
Well, this would be,
looking into, yeah.
yeah, well, look into, yeah, go ahead, Linda.
I was just saying, as much as possible, I think we should do in person because that's the whole idea behind it is
Right,
to go see
exactly,
the other
exactly,
libraries
Linda. I agree, right.
and show up and have a show of support for them. And I think as much as possible, it should not be remote.
No, I agree, and I think it is very valuable to go. I remember one summer trying to hit all of them in the CEFL system with our kids, and there's different vibes, and there's.
I've
Some I
enjoyed
would
the
not go back to.
visitations. I've enjoyed the
Some that are
visitations
great.
a lot. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah, I've enjoyed going to other
Yeah,
libraries
me too. I think that Brenda had sent me a message, this is on the, sort of on the same topic. That I know we talked last time about what we wanted from the library when we were there, and I know, I don't really want to ask them for a huge presentation, but I think we said something, tell me if I'm wrong on what I'm remembering. That they said, you know, like we said, we'd like to have them stand up first and tell us a little bit about their library. They don't have to do, like I said, a big presentation on the server. Just tell us a little bit about themselves before we start our meeting. Is everybody in agreement with that?
Yeah.
Because I think that's what I sent back to you, right, Brenda? But I just wanted to make sure that I was not misrepresenting. what
No, I
everybody
think that
else
makes
wanted.
sense.
I think I asked that question, I was one of the people who asked for that, and what I was, thinking I wanted to know was what it was about their community and who they served that made their work special, because people serve different needs in different kinds of
Right,
communities.
right.
And that should be something that people can do without
Right,
much
right.
work.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I don't want to, you know, we're kind of converging on them. I don't really want to say, oh, excuse me, we want you to do an hour presentation to tell us about.
And if
your
you could be
library."
in costumes. that would-
Yeah, yeah.
They could have a question period with
Yeah,
us,
yeah.
and then we could just ask.
Right.
But
So
it was-
maybe even 15 minutes, I mean,
Yeah.
would be,
Like
you know,
name, how long have you been there? What's the proudest thing you are about your library?
Yeah.
What's the thing that makes you most
Yeah.
proud? And
So-
10 questions.
Yeah, and what's your community like?
But I think that would be the proudest stuff would come into that, like.
Yeah.
right. I think if those aren't answered, if we tell them we'd like a 15-minute presentation, 10 to 15 minutes on what you're all about, what your
Mhm.
community's about. And then we can, if the questions aren't answered, then during the question period, that could be brought up.
I enjoyed the times when they talked about the history of the library
Right.
very much.
Mhm.
That was
Yeah.
interesting to know.
So I just wanted to make sure I didn't tell Brenda incorrectly from what I thought I'd heard. Okay, new business. What? Yeah, go ahead.
I apologize, I know I'm not official. Can I ask for something to be added to unfinished business?
I guess so. What?
The
The
roof,
roof.
Oh, the roof. Oh, the roof.
I would,
I thought that was there.
we are on a tight timeline with New York State as usual, rush and then you wait. By September, we have to have a quote and an application ready to go to New York State in the first part of October. Steve, all of us are working very hard to try to get, first we gotta get a quote to go with the application, but before that, we gotta get plans and we gotta get a engineering company to oversee the whole thing, because we feel
No,
this is a big project.
Mhm.
And, they've done it many times. And, I've learned from the other projects that, the driveway, just learned each time. And this is too big of a project that I don't want to learn.
Something about old dogs and new tricks.
We're trying to find engineering companies that will give us just a quote for their work, because we have one quote and it's gonna be over $20,000 just for their fees.
Mhm.
So what we're trying to do, because if we get those, then we can get the plans, and then we can
Mhm.
send the plans out to the
people to bid.
to the contractor, so we can get a quote to go with the state. And it doesn't have to be a hard quote to go with the state application.
So what do you
So-
need from us?
What's that?
What do you need from us? What direction, do we need to make a motion to tell you to find a?
Like I said, I have one so far. I'm working with a couple others. One wants $400 just to do the quote, to do the management. I'm like, and,
I'm already confused.
AEDA, which is, he's a local, he says 23,500 for the construction document phase. And then another 3,500 for the bidding negotiation phase.
It's better than that $1 million you had earlier. It's better, didn't we have one that's something for $1 million?
No, that's
That's
the
part of
one that
Okay,
did the quote for the $1 million.
so,
So I don't know if we want to wait within the next few days, see if we can get something concrete from a different
Don't we have-
engineer.
we don't need bids on this like we usually have.
That's what I'm trying to do, that, and
Okay, so,
I've been, there's JFP that, Mr.
Mandeville,
Lamonto or
Lamont,
Mandeville said.
yeah.
He said he doesn't really do the management part.
Okay,
He's the general contractor. Couple have got a hold of Steve and I've sent them back. There's a company called Blue Streak. Oh, also there's Black Mountain and Saranac Lake that the John Poussaint, the JFP Enterprises, he's gonna contact them and hopefully, because the procurement policy says anything over a certain dollar amount, we need 3 quotes. And this is what I'm trying to get you.
okay,
And, you know, I've contacted Sutherland. You know, like I said, I don't know why they're not getting, they probably inundated with work and,
exactly.
you know, they don't know, you know, the timelines and all that. But,
And
I wanted to give you an update of what
You're doing,
we're up against and, you know, we're trying to hurt. We might have to, you know, just ask you guys to go with AEDA, you know, and, you know, somehow say, you know, this is the reason why we didn't get the other quotes.
well, you haven't, it's not that you haven't reached out to them, they just, you haven't, I mean, you found at least 3 other places, but they aren't answering you, so it's not like you haven't tried.
Kylie, you don't have building plans, roof plans
We have the old ones from 97,
of the current roof?
one. And then we also have some, I think just of the, not acreage, the yardage for when, back in 68, the original ones.
The roof.
Yeah.
Because that's helpful, that's what they want.
Right, and
They
that's
wanna
what I
see
sent.
How it was originally configured.
Nikki, did you
All,
have
all
something?
that has really is just the length and width.
Oh, it
They
doesn't
don't
specs,
have the,
the building specs and all the
I don't
materials
know
and all that
where
stuff?
I don't know where that
Probably
went.
downstairs.
We
We brought
close
it,
that up.
they're all right there. The ones that we
The
have are
tunnel,
all
the
right
tunnel
there.
is just no longer there.
We're gonna have to send out our full set of blueprints from the reconstruction of the building of our addition. I had no
We
idea.
even have
so
some of yours
Oh.
that I want to show you something.
Give it back.
I don't know why we
Might
would
check
have
with
them.
Clinton County, though, they may have
Yeah,
things, you know, something like that, but it's worth digging because they're very expensive to have them redone.
yeah, I've looked around.
The other
We even have
engineering-
a file on from 97
Okay,
and we have, you know, what the mat was and, you know, the membrane.
yeah,
And, you know, and I sent some of the engineers, some of that stuff also.
okay. I just,
So once again, I guess we're gonna say that you just keep working on that, keep us apprised. You apparently know the timeline that needs to be done.
Yeah,
We
it's
did-
tight.
Send you or made a copy of the timelines for construction project
From David.
from David.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, I
That
think,
shows when we need to do things, when the deadlines are.
okay, okay.
I think the biggest concern I have is you're trying to get something submitted by September.
At least a quote from a
Yeah,
contractor.
that still could be hard to get.
Yeah,
We do have to have a quote from a contractor for the application. It does not mean that
We'll
is,
go with them.
we're going to choose them as the contractor.
Right,
And we just,
right, but for them to come up with a quote, they have to have
Plans.
Yeah.
something.
Right.
It's like pulling a number out of the air, and that's,
we
that's
probably
the
should-
hard part.
We probably should have something by next meeting to, you know, this first step to find the person and then. Okay, well, let's just work.
And then if we have to, you know, we'll push them and see if they can get plans to us.
Okay, Lonnie,
So
you're-
I correct in understanding that the cost of the engineering does not count as a covered expense?
Yes, it does. What doesn't count as a covered expense is gonna be the asbestos abatement.
Oh,
That
That
okay,
is
right,
not. And
So the engineering is separate from an architectural thing which wouldn't count. Okay, that's much better. You can't help whether there's asbestos.
thank you, Michael and Steve for working hard on that and whoever else I'm forgetting to thank, David maybe, and go on with that. Okay, now we're
Oh,
on.
just one thing on that. Just to let you know. We've gotten applications from other libraries for construction projects in the coming year. And this year, they are a little on the light side, so there is money there. And we should take advantage of that this year.
Yes, for sure. Okay, good to know. Okay, I'm moving on now. New business, the HVAC maintenance quotes, which are in your attachments folder, C. Okay,
Yeah, we have a couple of them here. Our HVAC system is getting older. But it's
another phase.
another phase. We went out and sought bids. Train, whose system it is, wants almost $5,000 for a yearly contract to maintain it. And we were hoping we could bring that cost down a little bit. And we found a company, Michael, you wanna?
It's Heidi Stone.
You're always coaching our people, man.
Hey, this is just an addition.
In addition,
We're not stealing them.
no, I'm teasing you. No,
Hey, you
they're-
can work on yours and you can overwork.
Yeah, no, we went through every HVAC. So they're good.
Plattsburgh, Public gave us a very good, you know, this is a very good vendor. You know, they do, you know, they come when they're needed and, you know, they, do quarterly change of the filters, you know, and that's basically what Train does. You know, so I would suggest that we try them for a year, you know, if we like them, we'll keep them and, but Train did keep their cost, level from last year. They usually go up 3 to 7% a year. And we've been with them since I started here, so.
So I have in here Hyde and I have Train. I don't see a Plattsburgh.
No, Plattsburgh
Hyde
gave us Hyde and Strong.
Plattsburgh Library gave them
Yeah,
the
they told us.
recommendation for.
They have
Oh,
them.
okay, I get it. Oh, I
Well,
got
that
it.
was the only one that got back to us, was Hyde and Stone, and
And they're the ones that, they're that much less than the other one. That's quite a savings.
yes.
They look quite a bit less.
Oh, quite a bit.
Yeah.
Scarily
Scared
less.
you, right?
Scarily less.
Enough that it's worth the gamble, I think.
For 1 year anyway.
Yeah. Do we need a motion? Oh,
No, I have one more question because I was reading this yesterday afternoon, which was a bad smoke day. And so if we have a lot of bad smoke days, will they come and clean the filters again or anything like that? We don't know,
think
but it'd be a
so.
nice thing to ask them to do.
They're usually very, aren't they?
They're very attentive. Our AC crashed last week, just came in, it was hot. And I said, I'll bet it's the cottonwood fibers up on the roof vent. And he went up there and sure enough, he scraped off all the cottonwood that had been floating and it came right back on. So they know our system now and I don't think they'd come and change your filters as part of your contract, but if you ask them to, I think you had their hourly rates.
They do quarterly, they
Ours
put
is
in
a
their quarterly,
year.
replacement
Yeah.
of,
They're very thorough. They look things up. You know, we've been very happy with them. And as I said, we've been through every HVAC company in the North Country, so.
Thank you, yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, could I get a motion to approve trying Hidestone Mechanical Contractors for 1 year for the HVAC?
Lonnie.
Leilani, second.
I'll second.
Mary, any questions? All in
Did
favor?
they,
Oh, sorry.
did they explain or mention why there would be such a difference in the cost, the yearly cost?
There was
They wouldn't know what the other
an
person's
indication,
quote
actually.
is.
Yeah, we don't want to tell them their quote, then they realize how much lower they are.
Yeah,
Well, no, I'm not saying them, but train.
Train is.
How many years
kind of
have-
the
From a long-
Cadillac.
you know,
Okay.
yeah, they're the Cadillac service and also they have to either come from Burlington
Oh,
or, Albany or
Uh-huh.
Albany area. Niskayuna, I believe.
Right, Latham, it says.
So I think they built that into their, and you know, they've been with us so many years that, you know,
How many years has Train done it? More than 5?
19, as long as I've been here.
Okay. I just wondered if they might reduce their price if it was mentioned that we have a.
We told him that, and he just didn't put the 3 to 7% increase that he usually does. He
well,
held it constant. And
Okay.
because we told him we're looking,
Yeah, okay.
my feeling is that we have someone else who's using them. So it's not like we're pulling them out of the woodwork. I mean, we do know someone else is using them, so it's, you know, and we know that's going quite well. That's me, sorry.
They're very specific about what they say they will do. So if we had an extra problem, then we'd probably have to pay extra, but that's a
Yeah.
bit self-insuring.
and that's what we
with
did with
Anne's
Train, the same thing.
recommendation, Yeah.
well, it's $300 an extra visit or something, and it's gonna take a lot of extra visits to get it to that 4,000,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
the
it,
$3,000
yeah,
difference
yeah.
or whatever.
Well, I didn't mean to, but it's my daughter.
Now, on this Train contract, it says the initial term of this service agreement is 1 year beginning June 1, 2023. Is that just an error or are we,
No, we're a little
not,
behind.
we're not, we haven't signed it, so.
oh, okay, okay.
Okay, so any other questions? Or whatever. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Okay. Okay, let me go back to this. Does anyone else have any other new business? We are adjourned at, all my readings say we don't need a motion to adjourn. We are adjourned at 5:34. Thank you, Nikki, for agreeing with me. I was out of meeting the other day. We were like,